All right, YouTube, back again. It is Sunday morning. Dolphins Bucs today at 1 o'clock on CBS. Check your local listings if you don't have NFL Sunday Ticket. And if you would like to get NFL Sunday Ticket for relatively cheap, hit me up. I have an idea how you might be able to get it in your home. Let's get right into it. I'm going to get into it right with the injury reports. First with the Miami Dolphins. Howard and Byron Jones were both limited all week, but they became full participants Friday, so Howard and Jones should be playing in this game. So that's good. We're going to have our top corners, which is very good. It wasn't looking good there beginning of the week, but it looks like Howard and Jones kind of got the rest that they needed and should be good to go on Sunday. Fuller is out. Fuller's out because of the broken finger. He's on a minimum 3-game IR miss. So he's going to miss at least the next 3 games because of a broken finger, which is a bunch of fucking bullshit. But hey, it is what it is. Fuller, I don't see him even being back next season if he's going to be like this. Unless if we, make that trade for a certain someone and Fuller magically becomes uninjured. Just saying. But we're not going to talk about that. Parker, game time decision. I think he's having a hamstring issue, which I think he's going to play. I'm pretty certain he's going to play. I haven't seen anything yet, and I was watching the NFL Network this morning. Jabal Sheard is active. They signed him off the practice squad, and they activated him. So maybe we might see him on the defense pass rushing today. Who knows? And also good news, we got our run stuffer back. He got hurt in the Patriots game, and he is back. Waquan Davis. He is active. I don't know if he's going to play today, but he is active. So that's about it for the Bucs. The Bucs secondary is depleted, and I'm going to get into that right now. Antonio Winfield, their safety's out. Jamal Dean, their cornerback, is questionable. Jason Pierre-Paul is questionable. Giovanni Bernard, questionable. Gronk, out. And a few other corners are out, but it's not listing it here that I'm on this website that I'm out at. All I know is that they are depleted in the secondary, and we need to take advantage of that. We did not take advantage of that during the Colts, and I'm not going to say it was the play calling. It was more of Jacoby Brissett not seeing the open guy. The offensive coordinators called plays to attack the secondary, but Jacoby Brissett never threw the ball. And if he does that at all in the first quarter and he's too afraid to throw the ball, like I said in the Colts reaction video, put Reed Sinnett in. I'd rather him be put in the game and him throw it down the field and get an INT and lose us the game. But at least he tried to throw the ball downfield and make a play, not dink and dunk throws that ain't going to win you the game, especially if you're playing behind. So that's that. Now the question is this game going to be more of the Dolphins versus Bucs, or is it going to be like the Bucs game last week, Brian Flores versus Brady? A lot of our coaching staff coached on the Patriots when Brady was the quarterback. Brian Flores, I think Tom Brady came out and said that they almost had like 1,500 practices together. So Brian Flores knows Tom Brady relatively well, and he knows what he doesn't like and what he does like. He played defense against him. He knows what Tom Brady hates. So I think it's going to be more of a Flores and this defense versus Tom Brady than it is the Dolphins versus Bucs. don't get me wrong, it is the Dolphins versus Bucs, but the storyline is going to be Brady versus Flores again, like it was Brady versus Belichick. And hopefully Flores remembers some of the stuff that Tom Brady gets frustrated with, and he just utilizes that to his advantage and comes out with this win. I'm going to jump right into the 5 keys to what the Dolphins need to do. Number 1, if Raekwon Davis is back, stop the run. Stop the run. The Bucs are actually one of the worst teams at running the ball. I think they're a little bit better than us, but they are one of the worst teams to run the ball. They don't get much yardage. We seen that last week. The Patriots were stuffing their run. And granted, the Patriots' run defense ain't that good, and they were kind of struggling against the Patriots. So, if the Patriots' run defense can stop them, I think we could stop them, especially if we get Raekwon Davis back, which is huge. Step 2, or key number 2, attack this depleted secondary. Brissett, you need to pull your head out of your ass at least for one game, because Tua is going to come back and relieve you of your duties because of being a starting quarterback, because I know how hard that is for you. And I'm sorry, I got reflection on my glasses. I didn't notice that. Attack this secondary. You have Devontae Parker. You won't have Fuller because you got him hurt last week. But you have Devontae Parker still. You have Jalen Waddle. You have Mike Gesicki. You have Mac Hollins. I don't understand why we're not letting Mac Hollins play very much. Preston Williams should be playing this game. You got to get these guys involved, all right? Maybe do more wildcat. Do more out-of-the-pocket runs, because until my next point, establishing a run game, it's going to be very hard to establish the run game. All right. Just as bad as they are on secondary, they're reverse in the run game. They are first across the board against the run. Yards per game allowed, rushing touchdowns, they are first in all. But back to the secondary, they've allowed like 10 touchdowns within the last 4 games of quarterbacks. So hopefully Jacoby Brissett gets his head out of his ass and attacks his secondary. But anyway, back to the establishing the run game. It's going to be very hard, so we're going to have to do misdirections, end arounds, if we can keep a long enough pocket and a long enough offensive line help protection to run the ball. But that is all going to go down to key number 4, clean pocket, good offensive line play. We're going to have a full 60 minutes of good football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Which brings me back key number 5. And this is going to go down to Brian Flores and Josh Boyer. All right. Number 1 to key 5, I guess you should say. Let Jalen Phillips go. Don't put him back into coverage. Don't make him play linebacker. Draft him what he was drafted to do. Draft him what he was doing in the University of Miami. Let him play a down lineman as a defensive end, kind of like Cameron Wake was. And let him just rush the passer. He was getting pressure on Carson Wentz. That little swim move and that little step that he does has the tackles all flustered. You've seen it last week. And he was getting pressure. He got like 2 sacks, I think, last week. So let Jalen Phillips play. And let Jalen Phillips play to what he does best. And that is just getting after the passer, pushing his guy back, bull rushing him, pushing him over, hard-nosed, in-your-face football, and disrupt Brady. We've seen it. Brady does not like getting disrupted. And if you start sacking him, he is going to make mistakes. We've seen it before. The Dolphins have done it before. The Jay Cutler game on Monday night, I think it was. We started blitzing Brady, getting to him, and he just started throwing the ball up in the air, and Xavier Howard intercepted it a couple times. If we still do that, we could possibly come away with this victory. So, disrupt Brady, get a good defensive game going, get the ball back, and all those 5 keys, they need to be worked to perfection, all right? So, but with that, I am not taking the Dolphins to win this game. I'm not going to lie to you. I would like to see them win. And now, don't get me wrong. It is very Miami Dolphins-like to win this game. But I'm not going to pick them to win. But it's very, 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 very Dolphins-like to win this game. All right. With that, the Bucs are probably going to win. It's going to be, I hope it's closer than what I anticipate. So I am going to make the score a little closer. I think it's going to be 31-24 by a touchdown. And those points are going to be coming late because Brissett is going to have to throw the ball late because we're playing, and our comeback's going to fall short like it has the last 3 weeks. So I'm taking the Bucs, but if it is the Dolphins' likely game because they are being written off and they have no business of even winning this game, but it's very Dolphins-like that they do, like they've done in the past. I could see them winning vice versa maybe, or even 34-31, but I just don't see it. I'm taking the Bucs, and I hate doing that. I'm a Dolphins fan, but I hate doing that. But stay tuned for the reaction video. I'm going to try to get that out sooner, like tomorrow, or maybe even tonight after the game. But that's it for that. And like, subscribe, and whatever you guys want to do. Go Dolphins, and hopefully they can pull out a win, but I don't see it. Fins up.